Toni Kroos isn't the flashiest player on the pitch. You might not even notice him until that killer passes. Outside the field, he doesn't crave the limelight or boast about his talents. Yet, Toni Kroos, the German midfielder who's had no bad season, has orchestrated the success of some of the biggest clubs in world football. With a single precise pass, he can unlock defenses and change the course of a game. He's simply one of the best midfielders the football world has ever seen. For me, Kroos is the Axel of the Madrid team. I see a lot of myself in him. He's like my successor on the field, Xavi said. Every great team has a conductor, a player who sets the pace, orchestrates attacks, and pulls the strings from the middle of the park. Toni Kroos is the guy who does this for Real Madrid. He might not be the one with the flashy footwork or spectacular finishes, but his influence on the game cannot be understated. Toni Kroos was born in Greifswald, Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, Germany in 1990. His father, Roland, worked as a youth coach for Hansa Rostock, and this made it easy for him and his younger brother Felix Kroos to be professional footballers. Kroos's talent was evident from a young age. He first played for local club Greifswalder SC before later transferring to the youth team of Hansa Rostock. In 2006, at 16, Kroos moved to Bayern Munich's youth team, and this was where the great story began. He rose through the ranks at Bayern Munich, quickly establishing himself as a key player. His vision, passing range, and tactical understanding were unlike anything the club had seen in a young player. Hermann Gerland was shocked by his display. In a recent interview, Gerland said, "Even as a young boy, you could see he had something special. His passing was immaculate and his reading of the game was exceptional. But what impressed me most was his intelligence. He understood the game in a way most players his age didn't." In the 2007-08 season, at the age of 17, Kroos was promoted to Bayern's senior team by Ottmar Hitzfeld. He made an astonishing start to his Bundesliga career, making his debut for Bayern on September 26th in a 5-0 thrashing of Energie Cottbus. He made his impact evident in the match, as he provided 2 assists within 18 minutes of his appearance as a substitute for Klose. During his debut, he broke records. At the time of his debut, Kroos was the youngest player ever to represent Bayern in a professional match. He was 17 years, 265 days old, a record that was later broken by David Alaba in 2010. Goal in stoppage time, his first for the club. Kroos was beyond amazing in his first professional season. He ended the season with 20 appearances for Bayern, including 6 starts. At the end of the 2007-08 season, Kroos represented Germany at the FIFA Under-17 World Cup, where he was named Player of the Tournament after exceptional displays. After a successful outing at the FIFA Under-17 World Cup, the world expected a lot from the youngster in 2008-2009. Unfortunately, due to a change in manager, Kroos didn't play much for Bayern Munich in the first half of the 2008-2009 season, and this led to his request for a loan transfer in January 2009. In January 2009, having made just 7 league appearances for Bayern Munich, Kroos requested a loan transfer until the end of the next season. Bayern listed and loaned the 19-year-old youngster to Bayer Leverkusen, a rival team. This loan was a shock to all. It was a surprise to us too when Bayern offered Kroos to us of all clubs, but the player said that he wanted to join us, explained Leverkusen sporting director Rudi Waller. At Leverkusen, Kroos continued to develop his talents. During the 2008-09 season, Kroos made 13 appearances for Leverkusen in all competitions, scoring once. Kroos became an untouchable player in the Bayer Leverkusen squad in the 2009-10 season. He established himself as a starter for the Leverkusen team during that season, appearing in all but one of their Bundesliga matches. His best games were between match days 16 and 20, when Kroos registered 5 goals and 4 assists in 5 Bundesliga matches, earning him back-to-back Player of the Month awards. Kroos ended the season with 21 goal contributions from 33 matches. Due to the circumstances that led to Kroos leaving Bayern on loan, many thought he was never going to play for the German Giants again. However, in a surprising move, he returned to Bayern Munich. At the end of his 18-month loan, Kroos returned to Bayern Munich at the start of the 2010-2011 season. When asked about his first-team chances with Bayern, Kroos stated, "I want to play as often as possible." And he did. Kroos was a regular starter for Louis van Gaal's Bayern, where he operated as an attacking midfielder. He ended the season with 37 appearances in all competitions. It was not until the 2011-12 season under Jupp Heynckes, his former coach at Leverkusen, that Kroos established himself as a first-choice player for Bayern, forming a strong midfield partnership with national team colleague Bastian Schweinsteiger. Kroos is very grateful to Heynckes. In a recent interview, he said, "Jupp Heynckes was the most important coach I had in the early stages of my career, both at Leverkusen and then in Munich too. It's fair to say that it was after he arrived in Munich in 2011 that I started to be able to play at a high level consistently." Kroos played 51 matches in all competitions during the season, including the 2012 UEFA Champions League final, where Bayern were beaten on penalties by Chelsea at the Allianz Arena. Kroos continued his great form in the 2012-13 season and was a regular starter until he sustained an injury in the quarter-final of the Champions League, which ended his season. The 2012-13 season was a historical one for Bayern, and Kroos was an integral part of their success. Kroos returned to fitness for the start of the 2013-14 season and had a great season under the tutelage of Pep Guardiola. "I think my career took another step forward at that time. Guardiola saw me as a central player in his system, which fitted my style of play perfectly," Kroos stated in an interview. At the end of the 2013-14 season, Kroos left Bayern. Kroos played a total of 205 matches for the German club, scoring 24 goals and providing 49 assists while winning a total of 10 titles: 1 Champions League, 1 Club World Cup, 1 UEFA Super Cup, 3 Bundesligas, 3 DFB Pokals and 1 DFL Super Cup. Still, in 2014, Kroos reached one of his greatest heights. He won the World Cup with Germany. Kroos made his debut for Germany in March 2010 in a match against Argentina. Later that year, he made the team for the 2010 World Cup, and he's been an integral part of the German squad since then. Kroos was instrumental as Germany lifted the 2014 World Cup in Brazil, with no player laying on more assists than his 4 provisions. His performances also saw him named on both FIFA's All-Star and Dream Teams for the tournament. Kroos announced his retirement from international football in 2021, after being heavily criticized unfairly for his presumed poor performance. About 3 years later, on February 22, 2024, Kroos announced that he would return to the German national team, having been approached to do so by new manager Julian Nagelsmann. Since his debut, Kroos has played 108 matches for Germany, scoring 17 goals. Kroos has been selected as part of the German Euro 2024 squad and will be willing to win his first European Championship. In the summer of 2014, Kroos joined Real Madrid. Real Madrid was where Kroos cemented his name in the history books. In Madrid, Kroos became a vital part of the team under head coaches Carlo Ancelotti and Zinedine Zidane, and he helped Real win 3 consecutive Champions League titles from 2015-16 to 2017-18, each time being selected in the squad of the season. He was also instrumental in the 2021-22 Champions League title win. Kroos also contributed heavily as the club captured the La Liga titles in the 2016-17, 2019-2020, 2021-22 and 2023-24 seasons. Kroos was voted into both the FIFPro World 11 and UEFA Team of the Year in 2016 and 2017, and has won further championships, including 5 FIFA Club World Cup titles. His trophy cabinet is stacked. In May 2024, Kroos announced that he would be retiring from professional football after the Euros competition, which means his last game for Madrid will be the Champions League final against Dortmund. What a beautiful end to his career it'll be if he can lift both the Champions League and the European Championship. Kroos is leaving Madrid as a legend. He is without a doubt one of the best players in Madrid's history. Perez's, Madrid's president's assessment that Kroos will go down in history as one of Madrid's greatest players in history is a testament to his excellence in Spain. The German scored 28 goals and provided 98 assists in 464 appearances, but the numbers don't do justice to his brilliance. Toni Kroos is an anomaly, a player who never left his prime. Kroos' decision to retire from professional football this season came as a shock to everyone because of the form he's in. Across the top 5 leagues, Kroos ranks first for forward passes, accurate forward passes, long passes, and passes into the final third. He's bowing out with grace while still close to the peak of his powers. Manuel Vent said that Kroos had always wanted to end his career at the top. Those who followed Kroos' career won't be surprised that the 34-year-old has opted to end his career this summer, he said. With the likes of Luka Modric, Iniesta, and Cristiano Ronaldo still playing professional football, don't you think Kroos shouldn't retire yet?